Step back. Secure, secure, secure. Step back.
I still living and I'm learning every day. Not everybody wanna see you in a rush. I work hard just to like this. I pray to God that he got this. I still living and I'm learning every day. Not everybody wanna see you in a rush. I work hard just to like this. I pray to God that he got this.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, Garoppolo. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Like 20, like 80.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They pitch it out to Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to the ground, Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now they'll run on the ball. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Sunday.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Run.
Now Wentz on third down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and that will force a turnover on downs. And out now come the Vikings. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Vinatieri now for the point after. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 14-0. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
What a nice physical tackle by the safety there. And this guy's playing strong safety, which is really a hybrid position. You got to be able to cover back deep, but also you're almost like a linebacker up near the line of scrimmage. They count on him to make big hits in the game.
On play action, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. They go play action here on first down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the...
Now loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. Jeffrey wheels it in over the middle. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting.
And he's in. Broad Eagles touchdown. Peterson wins. Taking it in. And the Eagles are back within a score.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Here we go. 180. Go ahead.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Garoppolo on first down. And Diggs has it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Hey. We got 4.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He'll buy some time right. Landry brushes him off. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken around the 12. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Escaping the pressure right. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
82, 82. Black.
Wentz now on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still. Gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Please, 5-7.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. Now Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. eluding the pressure right. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A toss to Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out the zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there, saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now 21-7. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
11 more on that one and another first down. On first down, Wentz.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Eric Kendricks. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Play action. Now Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start the drive with Cook. Got some room at the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
11. 180. 180.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. They'll roll him out right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Come on.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that's gonna wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Buying time to his left. It'll be a gain of 9. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Back. 180. Liz 5-3.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Dancing to his left. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Shotgun now for Wentz. Fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Marcus Golden, he's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that kicks first downs.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there, 75 yards, and the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier, now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On play action, it's Wentz. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles get a score closer. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott good with a PAT. As this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Elliott now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Minnesota. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Forced out to him, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Now Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Eric Kendricks getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
81.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now a play fake. Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
He's back to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Lion. That's it.
Back to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 51 yards. And the Eagles move back within a couple of the lead.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. They're going to try and run for it. And he's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful, and we've got ourselves a tie football game. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Go ahead, go ahead. One, Omaha.
Now Garoppolo going deep for Diggs. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw, Garoppolo. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it third down.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To throw is Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. To throw is Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And an overtime playoff game, but the rules, they stay the same as they did in the regular season.
That's exactly right. Whoever scores first, unless it's a touchdown, the other team has a chance to match. That's how it really gets played out. But remember this, no matter how far we go in overtime, in the regular season, there was only one period. Here, we're going to go until we have a winner.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
There's certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Steps away to his left. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's
no,
just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Come on now, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Run. Great.
First throw of overtime for Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So third down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4-down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, that it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, empty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. So we'll take a break with them and be right back. And it's no good. Elliott pulled it, and we will play on here in overtime. So possible disaster there. It's an empty possession, and there's no worse time to have an empty possession than the first drive of overtime.
Yeah, and remember the situation now, Brandon. It's sudden death from here on out. You can bet he's begging for a chance to redeem himself. But the question now is, will that chance ever come?
First down, here's the run with Cook. Room to run past midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. That one 28 yards on the ground.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Garoppolo. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. Again, it's Cook. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So it comes down to a man who has done this many, many times before, Adam Vinatieri. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. A give. This is Cook. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And now with 6 seconds left in overtime, they're going to take a timeout. So it comes down to a man who has done this many, many times before, Adam Vinatieri. This to advance to the divisional round. And the kick is good. He got it. And it's official now. They're going to the playoffs. He said they were poised to make a deep run in the playoffs this season, and it's off to a terrific start with a win here.
And once you get to the 2nd round of the playoffs, your goals have been met in a big way, and now you can start to think even bigger.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching.
Look at the cash coming in.
man, slip, book a bucket in